Yeah.
Are you sure you even want to call it that
Oh, no,
anymore?
they toured.
They toured
Uh-huh.
the cruises
Yeah,
of...
they went to the West Coast, and they're making their way back home.
Uh-huh.
And they're
They're
on their way to Chicago.
Their big stop.
Because they're from Chicago.
Are they?
They're going home to Chicago, and they ended up in Peoria on the... Like, it was a last-minute, like, Ohio...
Fuck it, let's make $1,500.
No,
Might
Ohio...
as well.
They had a show in Ohio, and they canceled on them. So they said, all right, where else can we play?
That's got to suck.
And their manager found Cruisins on Thursday night. They put together the show in, like, a week or something.
That's amazing. So how was it? Because I gotta tell you, the first time that I saw Trapped, I didn't know the only reason that I went to see Nickelback.
Yeah.
I hated Nickelback just like you did.
Okay.
Just like you do.
Right.
I hated everything they stood for, the way they objectified women and talked about getting drunk and fucked up all the time.
Yeah.
I hated them. But Danielle bought me 2 tickets for our anniversary. So not only am I obligated to go just because she bought me something,
Yeah.
but she told me that Trapped was opening up for them.
Mm.
And I was like, all right,
Sucked
I'm
in.
on board for the opening act. That means no pre-party. We can't pre-party because if we do, we'll show up late. We'll miss the band that I want to see. I don't want to see this nickel cock shit.
Right.
So we don't. We go to the show. We're with her cousin and her underage boyfriend who keeps bugging me to buy him alcohol
Yeah.
during the Nickelback. And I owe Trapped my love for Nickelback. And if I was at that concert last night, and that singer
You would have
guy,
told him that?
I would have walked up and shook his hand and been like, "Hey man, if it weren't for you, I would have never met Nickelback, and I want to thank you."
Oh, man.
And that would have probably put some icing on the cake of a Thursday night in Peoria.
That would have been great. All right, let's pack it up.
Coming up after the break, what are we going to get to? More stuff. All right. Fantastic. Thank you guys for listening to Enjoy.
Only makes me love you more. Only makes me love you more.
We have got a new social movement aimed at bringing an end to war once and for all. Recently managed to raise an impressive $108,000 on the crowdfunding platform Indiegogo in just over a month. There were a total of 1,321 funders, demonstrating the tremendous support for this initiative. But they still need your help. The team is currently seeking funding via the platform StartJoin to supplement that which has already been received from Indiegogo. The funds will be raised going towards copywriting, website development, staff costs, PR, media, branding, video and editing, and administrative costs. The public's chance to change what they want to see. This is what they want. Perhaps it might be the first step towards fighting tyranny and a war-free future. So if you want to help, please go to www.startjoin.com/BRY5ST. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to picture this, curling up in your favorite spot with your favorite beverage and what will soon to be your favorite book. It sounds ideal. I love reading and just kicking back and having the time to do that. That's my biggest problem. But Colleen Nye, NYE, best-selling author of The Unattainable series and Immersion, as well as lead author of the Lunchtime anthologies, invites you to pick up the book and escape. Whether you like romance, comedy, thrillers, crime, drama, it doesn't matter. She's got you covered. Ebooks available on Kindle, Nook, iBook, Kobo, and print available on Amazon or through the brick and mortar stores near you, which I personally would suggest doing. The hard copy, the pages are always better. I don't know. That's just me. But you can find her on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or simply go to Colleen Nye, Colleen, COLLEENNYE.com. So I'll say it again, COLLEENNYE.com, because there's nothing like a book to take you to a faraway place and bring a little adventure into your life. That's ColleenNye.com. We got another author, Brighton Woodall, BrightonWoodall book series, Cancer in the Lottery. Cancer in the Lottery, Allie's Way, The Last Letters. Marissa, a New York native, what should have changed and celebrated the greatest day of her life becomes awful within 24 hours of winning the lottery because Marissa finds out that her cancer is terminal. Hearing this makes her navigate a better future. For her sister and her friends, purchase your copy at Amazon Kindle, where all books are sold. Again, that is called Cancer and the Lottery, Allie's Way, The Last Letters. It sounds good. Another book available on Amazon, Drug Trafficking, Corruption in States, How Illicit Networks Shaped Institutions in Colombia, Guatemala, and Mexico. Now, we all understand that these are kind of the three, big places that drug trafficking kind of happens. The three countries that are currently being ravaged by drug trafficking, corruption, and organized crime. Many in the West believe that the situation can be easily remedied, which, of course, is not true. A belief that fails to take into account a true complexity of the cartels. Like, they make things happen. They don't even need you. In fact, they probably just do away with you. Like, human life is not, it's a currency there. And this book, written by Eduardo Salcedo, I hope I said that right, Salcedo, Albaran, Albaran, and Luis George Garay, puts forward a rather more realistic outlook. The crime has not only thoroughly infiltrated the legitimate institutions of government or these nations as a whole, but the drug traffickers have formed networks that span their tentacles. And with the internet, this has got to make it so much more easier. So make sure, go to Amazon and check out Drug Trafficking, Corruption, and States, How Illicit Networks Shaped Institutions in Colombia, Guatemala, and Mexico. Okay, if you love books, you love music. Well, maybe not always, but I know I do. And what I do love about music is when an artist comes along that actually bends the genre and actually changes things. Welcome to Genting for a spirit rising, a genre-bending blend of modern jazz and Indonesian gamelan. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, if I read it, I wouldn't know, but I've listened to this, and it's really good. You can check him out. As a performer, Lepato has toured his own music in configurations ranging from solo piano to 10-piece ensembles. He's performed with Dave Liebman, Joe Lovano, Mark Helias, Ray Anderson. These are names of people. Marty Ulrich, Steve Gorn, and Jane Ira Bloom. Like, these are musicians that have dedicated their lives to an art form. And this guy is looking for some help on Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter.com and search for Genting. I'm going to spell it for you. Gendhing, for a spirit rising. If you look for that, you're going to find music, a style of music that you've never heard before. And he needs your help. So go over to Kickstarter. Help him out. Doesn't matter how little, how big. Doesn't matter. He's going to help you out, give you like little extras. So make sure you go do that. Okay, so this actually kind of comes from a very personal experience of mine. There was a study that was done in UC Davis, University of California, Davis, and that's where I grew up. I grew up within a small, short bike ride that an 8-year-old can make, going to UC Davis. I used to go see the Aggies play all the time. That's where I first kissed a girl. Like, a lot of memories have to do with UC Davis. They're about to make a new one. UC Davis just had a study that was carried out and presented to the American College of Sports Medicine annual conference and found that this new product is worth your time. It's called Spruzza, Spruzza, a cooler way to ride. And basically what it does, if you ride a bike, and like I just mentioned, I rode a bike in Davis. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But if you ride a bike for exercise or maybe going to work and you live in like hot temperatures or whatnot, like how awesome would it be to have a device on your bike that will spritz you and cool you down, lower your body temperature so you don't get so hot. There was one time that me and my forgettable brother-in-law once went golfing in the middle of Arizona, and their golf carts, they had little water things that would constantly just like spray, and it was almost annoying because it wouldn't stop. So like if you actually, and I rarely did, hit like a long drive, by the time I get to it, I'm wet. This thing, it will cool you down. Spruce is currently being financed via crowdfunder Kickstarter. If you're a data-driven athlete or cyclist of any stripe, you probably love numbers, and the most encouraging number is 0. And when it comes to Spruza, that's how many people did not say that they were cooled off efficiently during their ride. So this is something any biker, and I bike from now till, or not now, but in the summer till about fall, but I live in Illinois. But if you're biking all year round, this is something that you have to have. Go to Kickstarter.com, Spruza, SPRUZZA, a cooler way to ride, and you won't regret it. And speaking of losing weight, I want you guys to check out FromFat2That.com. FromFat2That.com. I want you to check it out. This is the author's personal journey, who has lost over 85 pounds and have been keeping it off for 8 years. They started a podcast this month interviewing people who have this same weight loss success. They're trying to help promote others to begin the journey because, let's be honest, losing weight, it's a hard thing to do, just in the same way that even just staying in shape is a hard way to do, and it needs to be celebrated. And the website is FromFat2That, the number 2, that.com, where there is a personal blog inspiring before and afters of people. And she has a podcast that you can find on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Podcast communities would really unite around this, and anybody who's trying to lose weight, it's a fantastic way for you to look and be inspired. Like, read the blog, enjoy other people's, it's an entire website where you can enjoy other people's success stories. And maybe sometimes some failure stories, but that's okay because you have to be able to pick each other up in something as serious as weight loss. Because, I mean, let's be honest, America, we're a little overweight. I mean, the whole world is overweight, but I work at a restaurant. I see how much people eat, and overweight it's a problem. It leads to a lot of different diseases, and this is one way that you can inspire yourself to lose weight yourself. So do me a favor, go from fat2that.com. Again, that's from fat, the number 2, that.com.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
And welcome back to the Bill and Joe Show. So we were just talking about Trapped, and for those of you that don't know, I mean, it was a semi-popular band. I guess I would put them.
So I got a funny. So my cousin, I didn't even know they're in town. My cousin calls me on Wednesday, and he says, "Hey, you want to go see Trapped tomorrow?"
Trapped.
For $8. And I was like,
$8.
I was like, I would, but I got family in
Did
town.
you know who Trapped was?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I
And
did not know that.
I had their whole collection of songs in my head that I scanned my brain for their hits.
all 3 of them.
And I was like, yeah, I know those songs. I know them all. Yeah.
Let go.
And so I'm like, okay, I figured it out. And then I'm like, I'd love to go, but I got family in town. I don't know. I mean, the only way I'd be able to go is if my brother-in-law wanted to go. I mean, I think he likes that kind of music. So we'll see.
Okay.
So I hang up the phone. I tell him, oh, yeah, that was, he wanted to go to Trapped. And my brother-in-law's like, oh, man, I'd go to that.
See?
I love that band.
You see?
And I was like, oh, well, and then my wife was like, well, go ahead if you guys want to go. So I'm like, all right, so we're going.
Green lights. You're driving down the
So we're going.
interstate, all green lights.
And
There are no lights
I'm getting
on
ready
the
for the
interstate.
show, and I text my cousin. I'm like, go ahead and buy the tickets. And then I write, animal!